Amusement parks have always been a source of magic, wonder, and entertainment for kids and adults alike. But have you ever wondered what's really going on in Knott's Berry Farm's ghost town? Or why Disneyland's ghosts feel just a little too real? Picture this. You're wandering innocently through Knott's ghost town. Maybe you're curious, maybe you're a little nosy. Either way, you peek inside the old jail, and there he is. An old man with giant sad eyes, looking like he wandered straight off the set of the Beverly Hillbillies, staring directly into your soul. Whoa, he looks real, you whisper. And then he talks back. Wait, what? Yep, that's Sad-Eyed Joe, and he's been lurking around Knott's since the early 1940s. Or maybe you're at Disneyland, gliding through the Haunted Mansion, telling yourself, relax, this is just make-believe. So then why does that ballroom ghost feel a little too lifelike? And why does the swaying bride, one of Disney's earliest animatronics, look like she's watching you? It's these tiny quirks, whether by design, illusion, or good old imaginary mischief, that make theme parks feel less family-friendly fun and more, who approved this? Behind the polished rides and cheerful mascots are secrets hiding in plain sight. Bizarre choices, happy accidents, and characters who absolutely stole the show. So today we're counting down 12 bizarre backstories behind theme park icons, starting with Knott's Berry Farm. The man, the myth, and the emotional burden himself. Number 1, Sad-Eyed Joe. Close the door, you're letting the hope out. Don't worry, I ain't going nowhere. That's Sad-Eyed Joe, originally a wooden figure created by Walter Knott to entertain hungry guests waiting in line for fried chicken. He was so popular that Knott's locked him up permanently in the ghost town jail. 80 plus years later, Joe is still there, proving that notoriety can absolutely be a life sentence. Ah, the price of fame. According to Knott's lore, his real name is Joseph Nagnapper, and his crime? Stealing the sheriff's slowest horse. His sentence? An eternity in the ghost town jail. But Joe isn't bitter, he's chatty. Lean in close and he'll happily offer unsolicited opinions about your outfit, your hair, or your questionable life choices. He cracks jokes, fires off one-liners, and becomes a full-blown comedian, all from behind bars and entirely at your expense. And somehow you still walk away smiling, slightly roasted, but smiling. But the fun part is knowing how it's all done. That's where the magic and a bit of old-school trickery comes in. Behind the scenes, a hidden operator communicates through Joe using a microphone and speaker system, or in the early days, clever vents and acoustic tricks. That means Joe can react in real time to what guests are saying. If someone tries to sneak a bite of cotton candy, Joe scolds them. If a kid asks a question, Joe fires back with deadpan sarcasm. When I was there on a visit, my husband jokingly asked, "My wife wants to know if you'll go on a date with her." And without missing a beat, Joe replied, "Is she buying?" Joe is Orange County's longest-serving inmate and a living piece of Knott's history. He's been holding court for generations and shows no signs of slowing down. So next time you're at Knott's, swing by the jail and say hi to Joe. Just don't ask him for directions. He hasn't left in 80 years. Number 2, stagecoach robbers. Whoa there, this here's a robbery. Please remain seated and try not to scream. Too loud. Nobody panic. We're professionals, mostly. These gems are straight from the stagecoach robber shows of the 50s and 60s, back when Knott's was shedding its berry stand roots and embracing full-on theme park chaos. Ghost Town was meant to feel alive, and the stagecoach delivered. A horse-drawn theater with passengers, gold boxes, and outlaws who took their cues and sometimes ignored them entirely. Guests never knew whether they'd be startled, charmed, or both. Unlike Disney's performers, these actors weren't highly trained stunt professionals. They were comedic improvisers, working with historic stagecoaches and the chaos of Ghost Town. Unpredictability was key. Horses sometimes spooked, smoke from blanks drifted into the crowd, and actors occasionally missed cues. Guests loved it. Part of the fun was never knowing exactly what would happen. One time a robber's hat flew off mid-jump, landing in a guest's lap as an instant souvenir. It was always a good time. Personality replaced precision, and yet somehow it worked. The robbers teased passengers, joked with kids, and bantered with adults in clever, often absurd ways. It was unscripted hilarity. Some guests swore the outlaws targeted certain families, adding a playful sense of danger that made every robbery feel unique. Actors developed recurring personalities. A sneaky, fast-talking bandit here, a clumsy but lovable outlaw there. They'd mock passengers, deliver tongue-in-cheek threats, or even argue with each other, turning each show into a mix of drama and improvisation. It was comedy gold. By the 1970s, the stagecoach robber shows were a beloved tradition. If you went to Knott's, you had to go, almost like a rite of passage. And while the full-blown robberies with flying hats and improvised chaos aren't a daily thing anymore, their spirit lives on. Today, experiences like Ghost Town Alive bring bandits and townsfolk back to the streets, reminding guests of a time when Ghost Town buzzed with humor, chaos, and delightful unpredictability. Number 3. Calico Mine Train. Careful with that dynamite, or don't. These tunnels don't talk back much. Rumbling through the Calico Mine Train, the chatter from the miners make it feel like you've stepped into a real working mine. Except this one has a sense of humor. Keep an eye on the miner with the dynamite. If a puff of smoke surprises you, don't worry, that's all part of the show. Long before rides were packed with high-tech animatronics and special effects, the Calico Mine Train was one of Knott's Berry Farm's earliest thrill and charm attractions. Opening in 1960, it took guests on a leisurely journey through a working mine, complete with animatronic miners, glowing lanterns, and a winding track that transported you straight into the Old West. I'll admit I get a little claustrophobic on this one, but it's still near and dear to my heart. What made the ride truly memorable wasn't just the scenery, it was the little details and hidden jokes that kept visitors coming back. Miners would pop up unexpectedly, some carrying tools, others frozen mid-task, giving the illusion that the mine was alive. One classic moment, a miner holding dynamite misfired, sending smoke puffing just as a train car passed, startling kids and sending adults into fits of laughter. Guests would point, laugh, and sometimes shout back at the figures, creating an interactive experience decades before interactive experiences were even a thing. And the charm didn't stop there. Riders swore miners winked at them or seemed to follow their car. Clever mirrors and lighting created ghostly shadows that startled first-timers. Hidden gags tucked into tunnels and caverns gave families little surprises to discover on each ride, making every trip through the mine feel fresh, unpredictable, and downright delightful. Even today, the Calico Mine Train remains a beloved classic. It proves that a slow-moving train, a few clever illusions, and well-placed humor can make a ride timelessly entertaining. That's Knott's magic at its finest. Storytelling, interactivity, and the constant sense that something slightly ridiculous, or just a little spooky, is about to happen. Number 4. Hidden stage shows and trick shops. But Ghost Town isn't only rides and characters. Turn a corner and you might stumble into some unexpected magic, like the Birdcage Theater and in the park's quirky shops. Step right up, watch carefully, these performers bite in the funniest way possible. Ladies and gentlemen, the Wild West isn't just a place, it's a comedy show on wheels. The Birdcage Theater, dating back to the 1940s, hosted many stage performances, musical acts, and even gunfight reenactments. Its warm, intimate setting encouraged audience participation, which sometimes led to hilarious improvisation when kids screamed, adults froze, or a visitor tried to help the performers mid-scene. Surrounding shops and storefronts are packed with interactive props and hidden gags. Mannequins that shifted positions, miners swinging pickaxes, or a singing piano that played when a hidden lever was pressed kept guests on their toes. These fun touches were all part of Walter Knott's vision of an immersive Old West, where careful observation rewarded laughter, surprise, and memorable stories. Guests often became part of the fun. Some would dare each other to interact with the props, poke the mannequins, or respond to a performer's playful heckling. One classic story tells of a child poking a mannequin, which unexpectedly tilted forward, sending the child squealing and the audience roaring. These little surprises, combined with stage performances and impromptu comedic moments, made Ghost Town feel alive, chaotic, and endlessly entertaining. Number 5. The Ladies on the Bench and Hidden Ghost Town Characters. Some of you may have photos like I do of you or your loved ones posing with the ladies on the bench. My dad even has photos posing with them when he was a teen in the 50s. It's an iconic and charming part of Knott's Ghost Town that's filled with subtle, quirky surprises. These life-size figures of women in period dresses were strategically placed throughout Ghost Town, quietly reading, knitting, or simply sitting, blending seamlessly into the scenery, and waiting for park guests to post their pics on Instagram. Over the years, countless guests have sworn the ladies move, shift, or even stare, giving everyone a mix of playful scares and big laughs. One little girl even whispered, "Mom, she's looking at me," while another visitor insisted a lady turned her head just as they bent down to tie a shoe. A family's dog went ballistic, excessively barking at a lifeless figure. Turns out it was just a cleverly placed storefront prop, not an actual threat. Sorry, Fido, the joke's on you. Many visitors over the years can't resist posing with the ladies, or their equally silent benchmates, either for photos or just to prove they weren't scared. Kids have nervously sat next to them, daring each other to mimic the knitting or reading poses. Adults staged mock conversations, pretend arguments, or tried sneaking coins into the ladies' baskets. Of course, someone would inevitably glance away and swear a figure had shifted. Fact or fiction? You decide. Either way, it was a perfect recipe for laughs, playful ghost stories, and memorable family snapshots. And it wasn't just the ladies. Ghost Town overflowed with hidden characters and subtle gags. Miners peeking from windows, townsfolk stuck mid-task, and tiny jokes tucked into every storefront, waiting for guests to spot them. These little surprises made the park feel interactive, unpredictable, and endlessly delightful. Number 6. Knott's Scary Farm. Ever experienced this? It was the 80s, a double date, and screams echoing from me as monsters tried to grab me in Ghost Town and ghouls reached out for me on rides. It was fright and fun all wrapped into one. By the early 1970s, Knott's Berry Farm had already built a reputation for quirky, immersive experiences. But in 1973, Walter Knott's vision took a spooky turn with the launch of Knott's Scary Farm, the park's Halloween event where terror meets laughter. It redefined theme park scares. What started as a single night of haunted fun quickly became a multi-night interactive fright fest, drawing crowds eager to scream, laugh, and explore. It was more than just haunted houses. It was the entire park transformed into a living, breathing world of playful terror. Being scared never felt so good. And the magic of Scary Farm wasn't confined to mazes. Interactive street scares were everywhere. Costumed actors jumped out from behind props, lurked in alleys, or grabbed unsuspecting guests on rides to make them scream. Walking through the foggy paths of Ghost Town, visitors never knew when a masked figure would brush past them, reach for them, or let out a terrifyingly timed scream. Some of the best stories come from guests being startled while waiting in line or passing innocuous-looking props, like a mannequin suddenly lunging or a sleeping miner springing to life. Who knew fear could make you laugh this hard? Decorations and set design played a part in the immersive environment, big time. Fog machines, flickering lanterns, cobweb-covered storefronts, and hidden speakers added that spooky touch of tension and atmosphere. Props were cleverly placed to catch guests off guard, from hidden skeletons in alleyways to seemingly ordinary benches that suddenly became spooky surprises. Even Ghost Town's quirks, the birdcage theater, hidden mannequins, and ladies on the bench, pulled double duty, delivering laughs and scares for those paying attention. Behind the scenes, the actors themselves add another layer of chaos and fun. Teams would improvise jokes, stage playful chases, or tease guests mid-scream with witty lines. Some favorites include actors dropping from rafters, swinging fake axes in slow motion, or startling visitors mid-ride. Even rides like the Calico Mine Train or the Stagecoach sometimes became mini scare zones, with masked performers jumping out to startle riders, turning familiar attractions into unpredictable adventures. And you can't forget the food and atmosphere. It was all part of the story. Guests grabbed a bucket of fried chicken or lemonade while navigating foggy paths filled with hidden gags and actors. The combination of improvisation, set design, hidden props, and interactive scares made every visit unpredictable, laugh-filled, and delightfully terrifying. Knott's Scary Farm wasn't just about being scared. No, it was more about creating memorable, interactive experiences that left guests laughing, screaming, sharing stories for decades, and of course coming back year after year. From the charming chaos and quirky surprises of Knott's Berry Farm, it's easy to see that theme parks have always been about more than rides and mascots. Behind every laugh, scream, and photo op lies a story, sometimes bizarre, sometimes unsettling, and often hilariously unexpected. One guest summed it up this way: Knott's isn't just a park, it's like stepping into a living storybook. If that storybook was written by pranksters with a love for dynamite and mannequins. Before we step into Disney magic, tell me in the comments, what's your favorite Knott's attraction or memory? And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Alright, buckle up and keep your hands inside the ride. We're shifting gears from America's first theme park to the happiest place on earth. Just like Knott's, Disney has its own collection of hidden oddities, behind-the-scenes quirks, and strange histories tucked behind the castles, parades, and perfectly manicured streets. What makes Disney unique is how much care, and sometimes secrecy, goes into every detail. From hidden tunnels beneath the park to ghostly legends and blink and you might miss it visual gags, even lifelong visitors miss some of the strangest moments hiding in plain sight. Which makes our first stop only fitting, the Haunted Mansion. Number 7. Haunted Mansion, Ghostly Legends. Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Haunted Mansion, I am your ghost host. Please step all the way in and make room for everyone. Step into the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland, and you're not just on a ride, you're entering a world where ghosts, ghouls, and a little Disney mischief come to life. From flickering lanterns to the faint sound of eerie laughter, this attraction is packed with history, lore, and stories that have kept guests whispering for decades. First up, the Hatbox Ghost. Debuting in 1969, this spookiest of spirits was meant to amaze visitors by having his head disappear from his body and reappear in the hat box he carried. Unfortunately, the timing of his head swap was, well, let's just say disjointed, and he was promptly removed. But guests refused to let the legend die. They whispered about secret sightings, mysterious movements, and even phantom appearances at night. Decades later, due to overwhelming fan demand, Disney finally reintroduced him in 2015, and this time he nailed it. Hats off to you. Then there's the Swaying Bride, or as some fans call her, the Ballroom Mistress. Technically just another animatronic in the Haunted Mansion's elaborate set, but guess where she moves on her own? A tilt of her head, a reaching hand, or a perfectly timed glance has been known to make even the bravest guest whisper, Did she look at me? Some claim it's clever engineering, others say it's something more mysterious. Either way, her interactive scares turn a standard ride into a personal, unforgettable, slightly spooky experience. Disney magic meet just a dash of creepiness. And finally, the hitchhiking ghosts, your mischievous companions at the ride's end. As your doom buggy glides past the mirrors, these spectral figures appear to follow you home. It's always fun to see who you'll be riding with. Some guests giggle nervously, some look over their shoulder, and some just enjoy the show. It's a clever mix of interactive illusion, timing, and humor that leaves visitors grinning, spooked, and talking about it for years. And of course, just as you step on the escalator to leave, the ghost Little Leota appears to give you the spooky send-off you won't soon forget. Hurry back, hurry back. Number 8, Pirates of the Caribbean, Mischief on the High Seas. Ahoy there! Keep your hands and rum mugs inside the boat. You never know who's plotting mutiny up ahead. Pirates of the Caribbean is a beloved Disney ride that never gets old. It isn't just about swashbuckling animatronics, it's a treasure trove of quirks, mischief, and hilarious accidents that become part of the ride's legend. One infamous story involves a pirate animatronic originally modeled holding a certain, very suggestive piece of treasure. Let's just say it was far more anatomically confident than intended. Imagineers quickly tried to cover it up with a strategic prop placement, but visitors noticed immediately, turning the fix into an unintentional punchline and giving the ride an unexpected, eyebrow-raising wink of humor. The animatronics themselves seem to have a mind of their own. During early testing, figures occasionally froze mid-sword fight, swung wildly, or even seemed to wink at passing boats. Over the years, small mechanical quirks, like a barrel rolling too far, a winch spinning the wrong way, or a gunman swinging off rhythm, added accidental comedy that guests swore was intentional. Cast members dubbed these moments as pirate pranks, and longtime fans delight in spotting which characters were in a mischievous mood that day. But the most famous bit of Pirates mischief doesn't come from an animatronic at all. Cast members have long shared stories about a so-called grooming ghost named George, a friendly but mischievous spirit believed to haunt the ride. According to legend, George was a worker who died during the construction of Pirates in the late 1960s or 70s and never quite clocked out. To keep the ride running smoothly, Cast members traditionally greet him with a cheerful, "Good morning, George," at opening and a "Good night, George," at closing. George is often blamed for unexplained ride glitches, boats stopping unexpectedly, doors creaking open on their own, or minor malfunctions that vanish once he's been properly acknowledged. One particular door in the jail scene, right behind the dog holding the keys, is said to be George's favorite. If it swings open or won't stay shut, cast members know exactly who is to blame. Whether George is a real ghost or just a beloved piece of cast member folklore, the tradition stuck, and today it's part superstition, part stress relief, and part pure Disney magic. Then there's interactive chaos. Some figures appear to target certain riders, leaning just close enough to make you flinch, while hidden gags like the dog carrying stolen loot or pirates pointing at the ceiling kept observant guests on their toes. The ride's mix of carefully designed scenes, spontaneous animatronic humor, and playful hidden jokes makes every trip feel slightly unpredictable and endlessly entertaining. So have you had any ghostly experiences, funny or creepy, on Disney rides? Drop a comment below. Number 9. The Disneyland Fireworks Ghost Lights. Even Disneyland's ghosts stay for the fireworks. Happens every night. They really love a good finale. Disneyland's so-called ghost lights aren't spirits wandering the park, but they are spooky enough to spark rumors every Halloween season. During the Halloween Screams Nighttime Spectacular, guests often spot glowing orbs, eerie silhouettes, and ghostly figures dancing across the sky and castle. Most famously, Zero, Jack Skellington's loyal ghost dog. As the show unfolds, Zero appears as a glowing green silhouette flying over Sleeping Beauty Castle, guiding the spectacle like a spectral reindeer. Between the projections, lighting effects, and music, it's easy to see why some guests swear the park itself feels haunted after dark. Key elements behind the ghost lights. Halloween Screams, Disneyland's Halloween nighttime show hosted by Jack Skellington and Zero. Zero's Flight, the most iconic ghost light with Zero gliding above the castle in glowing green light. Projections and lighting, ghosts, villains, and haunted visuals brought to life through advanced projection mapping. Music, Halloween favorites mixed with spooky cues inspired by grim grinning ghosts. Fireworks, on select nights, real fireworks intensify the supernatural atmosphere. Best viewing areas. Many fans love watching from near It's a Small World, where the effects feel especially immersive. So while the Disneyland fireworks ghost lights aren't paranormal in origin, they do turn the park into a glowing haunted playground, blurring the line between Disney magic and ghost story just enough to keep fans talking long after the last firework fades. Number 10. Club 33, the secret VIP lounge. Psst, you're not on the list. Sorry, the magic's exclusive tonight. No pixie dust for the public. Have you ever looked up at New Orleans Square and wondered what Club 33 was? It's Disneyland's infamous members-only lounge. Very few guests ever get a peek inside, and the waiting list is legendary, sometimes decades long. This exclusive spot serves as a VIP haven, complete with gourmet food, private entertainment, and decor that pays tribute to Disney history. Back in the 80s, I was one of the privileged few to enjoy an unforgettable dinner and a backstage tour of some rides, thanks to my boyfriend at the time who worked there. But I'm far from the only one with stories. Over the years, former members, guests, and cast members who've been inside Club 33 all seem to echo the same thing. It feels different in there. Quieter, heavier, like the park's energy shifts the moment the door closes behind you. Some swear they've heard unexplained footsteps in empty hallways, soft music playing when no one's touching the controls, or doors that gently open on their own. Walt Disney originally envisioned Club 33, named for its location at 33 Royal Street, as a refined escape from the bustle below, a place where sponsors and VIPs can enjoy uninterrupted dining and conversation. Sadly, it opened in 1967, a year after Walt's passing. And that's where the rumors really take hold. Whispers persist of hidden nods to Imagineers throughout the space, secret art pieces, and subtle magical effects unavailable to the public. Some longtime members even claim the club feels occupied, as if Walt's presence still lingers, checking in on his most private creation. Whether it's exclusive ambiance, power of suggestion, or something more, no one outside the club truly knows what happens inside, and maybe that's the point. It's another reminder that Disney thrives on layered experiences, some visible, some hidden, and all fascinating. Because even at Club 33, the ghosts probably pay a cover charge. Number 11. Disneyland's disappearing benches. Ever notice there's nowhere to sit? That's not exhaustion talking, probably. Guests have joked for decades that benches at Disneyland seem to appear and disappear like magic. You swear there was a perfectly good place to rest your feet 5 minutes ago, and now, gone, vanished, replaced by nothing but aching calves and regret. According to long-running park lore, Disneyland intentionally limits and moves seating to keep guests circulating rather than clustering in any one area. Fewer benches means fewer traffic jams, smoother crowd flow, and let's be honest, less loitering. Some cast members have even hinted that seating is adjusted depending on crowd levels, parades, or special events. Over the years, visitors have shared stories of sitting on benches that later seem to be removed entirely, sparking the idea that Disneyland subtly reshapes its park layout throughout the day. Whether it's strategic design, overnight adjustments, or just tired theme park brains playing tricks, the mystery persists. So next time you finally find a bench, cherish it. Because at Disneyland, rest is temporary, but the magic keeps you moving. Number 12. The Sinking Mark Twain, Disneyland Riverboat. Some riders swear they felt the deck dip or watched the waterline creep unnervingly close to the edge, fueling rumors that the Mark Twain was actually sinking. The Mark Twain Riverboat may seem like a serene cruise along the rivers of America, but behind the scenes, it has its own bizarre backstory. Disney cast members have whispered that the boat occasionally behaves oddly, sinking slightly in areas or squeaking as if it's alive, thanks to subtle engineering quirks and decades of wear. Guests sometimes report that animatronic animals along the shoreline or aboard the boat appear to move differently than usual, giving the illusion that the boat itself has a mind of its own. Imagineers even use clever water currents and hidden mechanisms to make certain effects seem unpredictable, part prank, part magic, all Disney. Over the years, tales of floating spooks or minor mechanical mischief became part of the ride's creepy history. Some riders insist they've heard phantom whistles or seen figures wave at them from impossible angles. Of course, much of it is just clever engineering, but the stories keep visitors laughing, guessing, and, well, talking. The Mark Twain Riverboat reminds us that Disney excels at turning even a calm river cruise into an experience full of charm, whimsy, and a little playful chaos. No two trips are exactly alike, and a simple ride can become a tiny adventure in storytelling, engineering, and mischievous fun. These are just a few of the bizarre backstories from Knott's and Disney. There's lots more out there to explore on your own, but I hope you enjoyed this journey through the magical, mysterious, and mad world of these iconic parks. From the Old West antics of Knott's Ghost Town to the hidden ghosts, secret clubs, and mischievous pirates at Disney, it's clear that theme parks are full of stories you'll never see on the map or in the guidebook. Behind every ride, every animatronic, and every carefully placed prop, there's a mix of history, humor, and just a touch of chaos waiting for the observant, brave, or slightly nosy guest to discover. So next time you wander down a dusty street in Ghost Town or drift through the foggy corridors of the Haunted Mansion, remember, there's always more than meets the eye, and the devil or magic is in the details. If you love these bizarre, funny, and sometimes spooky backstories, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss the next dive into history's coolest secrets. And as always, stay cool and thanks for watching.